All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is gonna be a video on how with all that recent controversial situation that happened among this Hebrew Israelite thing, right? One of the things that you can notice is how a woman, right, can further help lead somebody astray, man, right? And what that situation showed, man, like them messages and all that, that shit was bugged out. But what further helped him become a demon, right, was a woman, right? A woman further helped him become bugged out like that, man. Now let me get this. This is First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished and erred and sinned for women. And he ended up sinning for that woman, right? And when, like, forget him for a second, man. Like, when this day of the Lord comes to pass, man, some of our own so-called women, because of how weak they are gonna try and think they can try and lead us astray. Some of them are gonna try and think they can try and lead us astray, man. And even if you think back in this world when you first decided that you was an Israelite, right, and you accepted it, right, a lot of your family and people, all you brothers out there, a lot of your family and people around you and everything like that, they might have tried to think you've lost your mind. But gradually, some of them are starting to realize that the things that you've been saying and the things that you've been believing in are true. But what if you would have just believed what they said, right? Like with this guy, this Sakari guy, man. He was talking about the apostles of Great Millstone should have retired and they should have like stepped down, right? But let's just say for a second that they did. Let's say that we all gave a bit of portion of our money, right? Everyone stored up and saved up 1,000 or something like that, and gave to the apostles so that they can go into a retirement, right? And they all had Hawaiian t-shirts on with cargo shorts and sandals, and they all went on a cruise ship and just was going to go live on an island somewhere. And they had a sipping pina coladas, mojitos on beach chairs and lounge chairs for the rest of their life, just chilling in retirement on sandy beaches, right? Wherever they decided to go. And now they're in retirement, right? And then now they hear this madness, what this guy's did, and he was the current high priest, but he had to step down because of his scandal, and he decided to resign, you know what I mean, rather than get fired. Well, wouldn't the apostles have had to come out of their so-called, what he thought was retirement program? Like, what the hell is this geezer talking about, man? These guys trying to say that the apostles should have stepped down and retired and all of this. But let's say that they would have. Like, what are you talking about, man? And they all got them would have had them Hawaiian wreath things around their neck now, and they retired. And they're like, oh man, it's good job we got 1,000 years left of this. No, yeah, right, man. Yeah, right. And the thing that's funny about how that guy ended up getting exposed is he was in the midst of a current rebellion because of them laughing at his doctrine and rebuking his doctrine of it could be from anything from now till another 1,000 years, pretty much, where we're going to end up getting the kingdom. That's absolutely ridiculous. He was in the midst of a current rebellion, and then that stuff came out. And the thing is, he was in that midst of that current rebellion, knowing them damn well that he'd already did that stuff, but he didn't think that nobody was going to find out about it. But he was in the midst of already running his mouth, talking reckless like that, knowing damn well what he'd been just recently doing. And had nobody have exposed that he did that, he would have still been saying he ain't breaking no laws. He wasn't humble like how he was humble at that fake humble, whatever it was, man, on the beginning of that video. He wasn't humble more because he knew that he'd fell to that kind of snare. He was still proud. The guy was still proud, man, knowing that he did that. The guy is 6'5" with a gut, right? With a big beard on his face, and he's wanting that to be done to him, and then adding on more things to make it even more abominable. And people are saying, "Oh, it was her idea," but when you actually look at the when you actually see what was in their messages, shit, that was both of their idea, man. They made a covenant together with that shit, and she must have already spoke to him about all of that in the past, because how the hell is that something that's her idea, but then all of a sudden you've got all these extra things that you want to throw in with the midst of it? That's what the hell, man. And that's what a lot of these women that, like, I remember Apostle Tahar, heard him say it, man. He was like saying how a lot of, when the day of the Lord comes, we're gonna find out that a lot of these women were never really about this. There was about it while while there's food in the fridge. There was about it while they can just gallivant and kind of, they ain't really too much restrictions on them. Their man's not really too overly restrictive on where they can and can't go. They can go and see their mom. They can go and see their friends. They can go here, go there. They can go to a few restaurants and all that. You know what I mean? There ain't too much restrictions on their thing. They can just go here, go there. You know what I mean? They go places. They was cool then. But then when shit starts getting down to the wire, and now your necessities, where you're going to get your necessities from a question, now all of a sudden we're going to see if these women are really about the Lord, man. And we're going to find out that a lot of them are not about the Lord. And I'm going to say this too. Women are going to be a burden in the day of the Lord's wrath, because they're starting to almost become a burden now, to be honest with you. And the proof that women are going to know that they're a burden is this. Let me get this scripture, man. Right? Let me get this prophecy. In fact, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy might in the war, because war is coming. And a lot of men are going to die in that. A lot of men are going to die, and men are going to become a thing that's even more scarce than it already is. And a lot of these so-called high-value men that women think they're going to perish too. And the men that are going to be the left are going to be the real high-value men in the Lord's eyes, the spiritual high-value men, not the fake Prince Charmings and that. You know what I mean? Not these red pill fake high-value stuff, man. That they don't really know what's going on, and they ain't really got the humility to acknowledge that this world is actually through. Like, they call women delusional 304s, but they're proud and trusting in every single thing that this society is talking about. They're proud thinking that America could not possibly lose to Russia in a war. Just proud. They're a delusional 304 themselves. Never mind how delusional 304s women are. We all know that women are bogged out and through. But some men are delusional themselves. Verse 26, her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. So they ain't going to want nothing from the man apart from to be with the man. They're not going to try and burden men with, oh, I want to be with you, like how it is in this world. I want to be with you, and I want you to chase me so that you can pay all of my bills. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous how this world works. Women want men to be better looking than them in every single way, to want other women to lust after their man as that same man as well, to want him to turn all of them other women down that might be equally as attractive as her or even better, right? And then he's supposed to chase after her so that he can have the honor of paying for all her bills when she's not even a virgin. That's what women in this society actually think that a man's supposed to do. A man's supposed to have all the money in the world, have an amount of money to have 1,000 wives, because that's what some of these extreme wealths, these women really think that they want, right? And let's say a man's got enough money to take care of whatever a woman thinks that her particular desires are. Oh, I want a man that makes 200,000 a year. But let's say that man really makes a million a year. That woman wouldn't still be like, well, another woman wants a man that makes 50,000 a year. So I'm just have my only want from you your 200,000 portion. No, she's gonna want the extra 800,000 too now to be spent on her. She ain't gonna want that man to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do 250,000 because this wife kind of requires 200,000 of, and the other one only wants about a 50,000 lifestyle. So I'm gonna have both of them. No, she's gonna want both in this world, right? And really, we're starting to see, based on how that thing happened, forget the whole multiple wives thing, man, because women are demons down here. Ain't no telling what freaky ass madness a lot of these women have did them own themselves, man. Because them text messages were off the chain, bro. But that's how women are wicked, and they're demons, man. Women are wicked. Like, they are wicked, but men are wicked too. verse 1 again. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So they ain't going to be trying to be burdensome to men, because they're going to know they're a burden in that time. Women can talk all kind of smoke. Like, women like to talk all kind of smoke in this world right now, right? But let's just be real quick, yeah? The average woman, even the ones that weigh 200 pounds, them with their big up self, they ain't got no hands to speak of, man. They ain't about that life. They ain't about that physical life, man. Because that physical fighting life is hard to do. To fight people is actually hard to do, man. Even us as men, it's a hard thing to fight somebody, man. You have to get yourself in the right mindset. And that's why these fighters, right, when two men are going to fight each other, don't they normally like promote that, and like they're planning it for like months, training to fight that one guy? And if there's a little change in the whole procedure, so like, oh, you were supposed to be fighting this guy, but he's got caught for taking this or taking that, or he's got injured, now you have to fight this guy. That throws the guy off, and a lot of times he ends up losing some of the time, man. But the other guy sometimes is able to win because he's slowly been studying that guy and how he could defeat that guy, because that's the fight that's going on right now. But a lot of people, they don't understand how hard fighting is, because whenever they get into an argument and run their mouth and start some shit in this world, the next thing to do is have 9-9 set ready to go, and then all they have to do is press 9 once more, and then Bob's your uncle, mate. You know what I mean? Or they press 9-1, and then they just only have to press one more, or whatever the hell the emergency number is, wherever you live, man. People have been able to live an antagonistic life because they can just try and run to the police, but the time's coming where that's not going to be happening. The police are going to need to call that number themselves for what's happening to them. And most of the police officers, a lot of them, some of the time, they ain't even really built about that life. They're quick, they can handle when they can just have to 5-on-1 someone, and one person grabs one ankle, one person grabs another. But a lot of them can't even run, they can't even, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, there's them ones that look like they're taking steroids and on human growth hormones and that. There's them occasional ones. But on average, the average police officer don't even really look like much, to be honest with you. They don't even look like they do any kind of training, to be honest. And considering how dangerous their job is supposed to be, they should be doing some training. But they don't, though. Right? Now, let me get this, man. Because a lot of women, man, they've did a lot of madness down here, man, and they've been confederate with Esau. They've been his top ally, and then they're thinking that they're gonna just be able to fake feminine it off when all hell breaks loose and end up on our side. No, you're not gonna be able to. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9: Rise up, you women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And like, you women are a burden, starting to become even a burden even more nowadays, man. You know what I mean? As that cost of living and all that inflation stuff and everything goes higher and higher, right? Women are going to become a burden, because the things that they're going to want are not going to be reasonable for that time. And men are going to be like, man, what the fuck, man? You're asking for all of this shit, but people are struggling to have the basic things. So why the fuck are you asking for all this outrageous shit for? Men are going to start ignoring women because they've heard how they've run their mouth on these podcasts, how they film a TikTok crying on camera, recording themselves crying, being bugged out as hell. And they're going to reject them, man. They ain't going to want to know. And as society really crumbles to where now you don't have to have any money to pay for things, women are going to lose the most in that. Women and children lose in that scenario, because they can't think, oh, well, I put these groceries in my bag and I stole them first. I looted these items first, so now they're my items. No, that's not how it's going to work in that time. Are you strong enough to keep those items? If not, someone's going to take them from you. This is what's going to happen. And people aren't going to care about whether you're old, whether you're weaker than them. That's going to be exactly what they're looking for. And we're like, yeah, okay, this person's weaker than me. I can easily steal from them, and I'm going to. Because if I try and steal from somebody stronger than me, there's a chance that I could lose my life. So they're going to pick the weak to take from. That's going to be what they're going to be looking for. And who's the weak? Women. The weakest men are stronger than some of the strongest women out there. And that's just the truth. Verse 10. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Because it's not going to be going back to the way how this world is now for you all. It's just not going to be going that way. You're not going to be living off, sailing off into the sunset. You're not just going to be able to show a bit of leg, show a bit of chest, get a BB, get the fat from your stomach, and have it moved into your glutes by some Frankenstein doctor, and now you're a baddie. You know what I mean? Now you're a bad queen. You're not gonna be able to just get your cheekbones raised about 2 centimeters up. And now, oh man, wow, everyone's gonna be like, oh wow, isn't she a fine damsel in distress? No, people ain't gonna care. They're gonna be trying to figure out, where's the food at? Where's the food at? And it's gonna get so extreme that humans are gonna look at other humans like they are food. That's the kind of thing that's the way how the world's getting ready to go. And when that whole lockdown thing was happening, they had a document called the Great Reset, right? And within that document, they had things in there written about stuff like that, how people was gonna justify, people would just end up justifying their evil deeds because the times are so harsh that you kind of have to do stuff like that to make it through. And that's what's going to happen when all hell breaks loose, man. People are going to justify the evil that they've did because that's what they're going to think in their mind they need to survive. And because these people don't believe in the Lord, they are going to have to do crazy things to survive. Israelites, we ain't going to have to, as Israelites that hope and be of the elect, we ain't going to have to be no cannibal. Yahweh's going to pull some food out of somewhere to feed us, Lord willing, man. Verse 11, tremble you women at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. And when this day comes, man, right, we're going to have it in our mind that if us, our women, yeah, any woman that you're around, any person in the world that you know, even a fellow Israelite, man, if you see them take the MOTB, they're not of the elect. So you ain't got to worry or question whether that person's chosen anymore. You know what I mean? No matter how cool or how good of a person they've been to you, if anyone takes the MOTB, that person can just be rejected from your mind as you even having to care about them anymore. Because it's not you that made them be like that. Yahweh's made them not be chosen. So that person is to be rejected in that time. And we're going to find out that a lot of these people in the world, that they talk their mouth up, they're so tough. A lot of these podcasters that own these podcasts and all that, and they want to try and mock the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites in their final form. People want to talk about their high value men and all this stuff. A lot of them are going to take it, man. A lot of them have already secretly had people come up to them behind the scenes. And they've just agreed to scoff the Israelites. You know what I mean? They've just agreed to scoff the Israelites. Since they're like having people on their shows all the time, you'd think that they would have had somebody on their show. Since they're so rebellious, they would have had somebody on their show to try and talk about that doctrine with them, but they don't want to do that because they're scared, really. You know what I mean? They want to just mock from a distance and try and laugh, but no Israelite should really go on them things anyway, because they're only going to bring you on there to try and mock it. And then people have got demons on them, and the worldly demons that are on them making them do the things that they do can jump on you from you trying to go on there. That's what I personally think happened to that Sakari guy, man. That the demons that are around that wicked ass podcast, that the owner of that show and all that, the spirits were rubbing their hands when they seen him come through the doors. I was like, man, I want that one right there. I want that guy. You know what I mean? And they sent him some wicked ass, that when he started being around certain women after the demon hopped on him, wicked ass women in the world started being like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, who's that guy? Yeah. I want to be around that guy. That's what I think happened. But either way, he got judged, man. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. All these women out there in this world, when it really goes down, they're going to be longing back for the times that we're in now. And them times are not going to be there, man. Them times are gone, going to be gone for them. The times of them just being able to like have an online social media account and literally have 500 men on that account, and they can just send every single one of them men the exact same message right? And then see who gives the best response. And oh, that's who I'm gonna be with for tonight. Or I'm gonna message them all a question mark and see who responds. And I'm gonna set my weekend up based on that. But if this particular guy here, if he messages me, then I'm really going for it, even though I kind of don't. Like, he ain't said nothing back yet, but that's the one I really want. It's between these five, but these 20 will do if these five don't holler. And then this one out of these 20, you know what I mean? That's the kind of way our women have been able to live in this world. Do a couple of booty shots, you know what I mean? On a couple of bikini, end up on a couple of yachts here and there, end up like not even be too attractive, but not be ugly. And the world just seems to like bow down to them, man. But if certain of the Howard's laws is in place, like the law of adultery for starters, they wouldn't be able to do that, because when they try and transfer from one man to another, we already know what would end up happening. They wouldn't be able to just try and, oh, I'm going to bounce from this geezer to that geezer no more. That wouldn't be a thing that they'd be allowed to do. You know what I mean? If men was not down for adultery, talking about it's not yours, she's not yours, it's just your turn. And the fact that men have actually even go to that kind of thing, they'll go to that kind of mentality, which is really against their nature, for men to not be jealous of their woman dealing with another man, shows how wicked this world is, because men are naturally protective over a woman once they've dealt with her. But in this world, men have actually went against their natural thought process to a woman and been like, you know what, women are demons down there, man. Fuck them. Like, I'm gonna get mine, and then somebody else can get theirs later, and I'm gonna try and spend the least amount of money that I can to do it. And she's thinking, oh, me spending this little 100, 200 on a date and all that shit is her finessing me. But once I got the cheeks, I'm out, nigga. That's how it is in this world. And then the woman's like, oh, I finessed that guy. No, you didn't finesse nothing. You gave up your body when you're supposed to give your virgin body to your husband. But you gave up your body, freed up the thing how many times? To everyone, to all and sundry, mate. But then you think y'all doing something, and no, you're not, man. Now let's get some more scriptures, because women are gonna become a heavy burden in that time, because they're already a heavy burden. Now you got men talking about MGTOW and all that, you know what I mean? Going their own way. The catch and release method. Hey, so lucky, the catch and release method, and that. That guy that says that, the catch and release method. Man, shit, man. Salakia. Jake, funny, man. This is 2 Esdras chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. And these days, even, man, shit, is a hell of a lot to try and find virgins. So I'm assuming that the word that would have been there would have been her whole bafwala, right? A young woman of marriageable age. They're gonna mourn, having no bridegrooms, because the younger men are gonna be perishing, man. You know what I mean? And when you watch them survivor shows, right, which I've got one on the screen right now, and on mute, by the way, when you watch these kind of shows, right, you see how the women are not really about that life, and they all run straight away to whichever guy is able to build things, or whichever guy looks physically strong. They're all prepared to use their body, right? And they'll say it with their mouth, oh, I'm gonna try and use my body to try and manipulate guys to do this and that. But with the day of the Lord that's coming, they're not even gonna be able to do that. They're not gonna be in control. And that's why women should be humble, because you're not gonna be in control of any of it. You're not gonna be in control of none of it. That's what y'all don't understand. A lot of you women right now couldn't even take on a 60-year-old man, I don't believe. A woman in her 30s could not even, some of y'all wouldn't even be stronger than a 60-year-old man. Some of y'all wouldn't be stronger than a 70-year-old man, I don't believe, man. A 70-year-old man that's still taking care of himself in a little way, like he's kind of hitting the weights a little bit, kind of goes on walks and stuff like that. I don't think a lot of you women would be stronger than them, personally. And I definitely know that you wouldn't be stronger than 15-year-old teenagers. So where all this pride that you have comes from is because men have agreed to allow you to do things. More men have agreed to allow you, or the strongest men that have control over the majority of the other men have allowed you to be able to do certain things. They've allowed you to do it. But those men are wicked themselves. And this society is going to get rid of their power to try and tell anyone anything either. Having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. There ain't going to be no simps to come by and pay all the bills and worship your batty hole, man. Nah, that ain't going to be happening. There ain't going to be no man running around. That's a female, yo. That's a female, yo. He's going to get clocked in his jaw if he even dares say any of that kind of stuff. Ain't going to be no, that's a female, yo, in that time. The men are going to be like, man, fuck these women. We're equal, remember. You had the tin of beans first, but I pushed you over and I took the tin of beans. Now they're my tin of beans. And if you want the tin of beans, step up and let's throw these hands. That's the kind of mentality that's going to happen. And women don't believe this kind of stuff, because the last time that this kind of mentality was really around in the whole world on the earth was in World War II. That's the last time that the world really saw that. So the majority of the people that are alive now that did see that kind of stuff, like most people that saw that kind of stuff, they're close to perishing. But a lot of generations have came since that, and women have got gassed up, and the social media thing has allowed them to just set up an online account and have access to every single man on the earth. Like, you know how crazy that is? That women, thanks to all this Twitter and all this Instagram stuff, women can literally have access to every single man that has an account like that in the world. Famous men, rich men, all kind of stuff. Like when some of us would have seen this birth of Facebook and all of these things, and it was a thing where you can and Twitter and all of that, which is now X. Like it originally was, I can get in contact with a celebrity. That's what it was about. And women took that to their advantage, which if they're okay, use whatever advantages you have. But just know that in the day of Yahweh's wrath, men are going to use every advantage that they have too. Whereas in this world right now, men have had to compete with women without using their number one thing that they have over a woman, which is being physically stronger than them. So men have had to accept a woman running her mouth, chatting all kind of shit, and then just have to deal with it with words or by ignoring her. But when it really goes down, that's not going to be happening. Men are going to get and use their physical thing, and the woman can't handle that. Because a man in his most masculine state is a man on the battlefield, right? That's what a man in war. Yahweh Shai is going to show his true self, his ultimate self in that World War III when he enters into the atmosphere, man, and starts filling the world with death. That's what he's coming to do, to fill the world and show the world what death really looks like, man. And then bring life to the elect. He's going to really show himself. I'm not going to meet the world as a man. He's coming in a new way that the world ain't seen before, man. But everyone's proud and gassed up right now. But wait till they see what Yahweh Shai can do. Just wait. Verse 34, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed and their husbands shall perish of famine. There's going to be a whole bunch of dying around here. A whole bunch of unaliving. A whole bunch of unalivement in many kind of ways. And there ain't going to be no pride in that time, man. Teenage boys are going to be able to handle the day of the Lord better than women. They're going to be able to handle that day. They're going to be able to handle that day a lot easier than women are going to be able to handle it, man. A lot easier. All the pride that women have had over the years is going to be repaid in full. Right? It's going to be repaid in full, man. Let me get this scripture. And this ain't me, or he just hates women. He's mama black. He's mama black. What's my mom got to do with this? You know what I mean? What colour's your dad's? What so-called colour's your dad's then? You know what I mean? All you women that want to try, he hates black women. He hates black women. Mate, don't tell me what I hate. I hate demons. You know what I mean? That's what I hate. And if y'all fit that category, well then that's what it is then. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. So we, even though we burn this out, we know why this is happening. Because we sinned. because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, Where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. That's what's getting ready to happen, man. A lot of you women that was laughing about this belief system, you got on TikTok, you just couldn't not believe it. You just had to get on TikTok and run your mouth, didn't you? You just had to get on the TikTok and say, one of my grievances with the Hebrew Israelites is, first of all, mate, you just had to run your mouth, didn't you? You couldn't have just shut the fuck up, could you? You just had to get your camera, put it on selfie mode, hit record, and start talking about it, right? And asking your little dumb questions. One of the things I gotta know about the Israelites is, why don't you just shut the fuck up, man? Because you haven't did no same videos like that questioning Christianity or questioning any other belief system. You ain't got on camera and recorded and tried to question Islam or question anything else. You just had to question the doctrine of the people that filled with the men of your nation, didn't you? You just had to run your fucking mouths, didn't you? And put it on display and make it public how much you hate Yahweh and how much you hate Yahweh Shai and how much you hate the men of your nation. You just had to try and embarrass us even further and show how much of a demon you are, didn't you? But then we're supposed to just love you because our mom looks like an older version of you all. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, right, man. But then you don't have to love us because your dads look like us, an older version of us, do you? Fuck out of here. Verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is Yahweh thy power? You're going to be filled with shame because you were scoffing. And whether you were scoffing publicly or private, you're going to be filled with shame because of that, man. How when a man was talking about it, you heard a man talking about the Lord, you're thinking, fuck, yeah, right. Y'all niggas ain't going to get no kingdom. You need to get a better job first, nigga. That's how some of you hoes were thinking. Y'all talking about a kingdom. Y'all ain't even got no factories. Y'all ain't even got shit. The white man runs everything around here, nigga. Y'all ain't got shit. That's what that Sakari cat, the woman that he was dealing with, was thinking, was treating him. He said she don't like black men. She hates black men. That's what he was saying. He was saying, now that woman, she just don't really give a shit about niggas. Well, you should have not dealt with her then, dumb motherfucker. But this would be the same kind of cat that was saying don't deal with no other Asian woman. Fuck all that. None of you women are going to be monitoring my almonds out here. And no other man's going to be making you monitor their almonds neither. Y'all don't get to tell us what women of what nation we can date. Who the hell do you think you are? Oh, I'm tired of these sellout brothers with a weave in your hair, with a blonde weave, got the nerve to try and call someone a sellout. Yeah, okay. But you're called Jake a sellout. Well, let me ask you this. What's your nationality? What's your nationality then? Huh? Do you believe in the Lord? Do you believe you're an Israelite? No, you're a sellout then. You know what I mean? But they'll have the nerve to try and call Jake this and Jake that. But what the hell are they? The nerve, bruv. The absolute nerve. The nerve of them. Absolutely ridiculous, bruv. Verse 11, in that day thy walls are in that day thy walls are to be built. In that day there shall, well, not that scripture's not even really with it, man. Not really on the point that I'm trying to make. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Right? They're gonna lose, man. Y'all are gonna be humbled. You're gonna realize that you're not strong, you're not no soldiers, you're not no warriors, and if men decide to not help you, you're through. Like, that's what it's gonna be. If a group of 5 adult women were to come up against 2 teenage boys that are like 15, 16, the two teenage boys will get whatever their will is in that scenario, man. They're able to outrun them women. They're able to beat them women up if they so choose to. In most cases, man. A lot of you women are gonna find out you're not about that life. You're gonna get humbled, man. You're gonna get humbled. A lot of you are gonna find that you're not nowhere near that 10 out of 10 baddie that you thought you was. You're gonna find out, no, you're not a 10. You know what I mean? And you're gonna look that buzzword that y'all like to use about being dusty. Y'all are gonna look dusty in that time. Your lips are gonna be dry. Your elbows are gonna be dry. Your elbows are gonna be ashy. A lot of you women, you Israelite women, you're gonna look crazy as hell because y'all have for the longest time hid your whole hair Like it's the weave thing's so ridiculous among you Israelite women, right? That a lot of people actually believe that the way how the Israelite man's hair grows is completely different to the way how the Israelite woman's hair grows. Some of them actually believe that we've got two complete different hair textures, which is not true, by the way. We've actually got the same hair texture, but you women slap a weave on, but then got the nerve to try and talk about someone being a sellout when you've got a weave on your head. Like, what are you talking about, man? All that hypocrisy that you Israelite women have been doing is going to end because Esau is going to lose the power that he's got over us, and he's been giving you women a portion of helping destroy us. But the time's going to come when that's going to end, man. Watch. And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. I just wanted to talk about that a bit because a lot of you women have helped Esau destroy us, man. You helped. And a lot of you women are going to try and destroy us when all hell breaks loose. I'm going to try and see if you can try and get us to take the MOTB. And we're not going to take it, man. The elect man is not going to take it. He's going to say, man, fuck you. If he starts seeing you women try and justify taking the MOTB, then men are going to start looking at you sideways that are already elected. I'm like, you know what? This bitch really is a demon. Like some of the times I thought I was being harsh when I called her a demon before. But now I realize, man, women really are demons, huh? Now I realize, man, now I know why me and this woman used to get into so many arguments and whatever. You know what I mean? Now I know why I didn't trust this woman. You know, that's what's going to be happening, man. Watch. Men are going to start really looking at women like, man, y'all ain't, you know what I mean? But people can think whatever they want to think and say, nah, that's not going to happen. We've already saw evidence of how women are bogged out right now on this earth right now. Did we not see the evidence of how a woman was all upon that guy making him do all this kind of shit? Did we not see the evidence? She suggested letting her dominate him. Which just the fact that he had to let her do that shows that women are not supposed to be over men. Because a woman don't have to let a man dominate her. He just can do it. He just can. But that's the wickedness of women, man, shown live and full effect, man, how women are just wicked, bro. They do a lot of evil down here on this earth, man, a lot. And they're going to show themselves to be evil when all hell breaks loose, man. They're going to show themselves to be sneaky as hell. They're going to love that MOTB. They're going to love it, mate. They're going to love that MOTB. They're going to not be able to wait to get that. I'm going to end the lesson there, Shalom.